All right, guys, we're going to take a little miniature step into the past, into the 90s. I wanted to celebrate the 90s, the decade, with episode 97 here as we approach episode 100, if we can make it there. This is Dakota with Dak City VTG on Instagram, Dak City Vintage. He sells vintage clothing. A lot of it's from the 90s, and it's in like really good condition. And to buy it, just follow him on Instagram. And if you see something on his stories or on his page and you like it, shoot him a DM. And that's how you buy it. Easy as that. This was a fun episode. We took a little stroll back, talked about cartoons and movies and some music, MTV, Nickelodeon, all that stuff. Had a little list of like some of my favorite things that was, from the 90s where, I grew up. I graduated high school in 98. So those were some formative years. And I did the 90s right, guys. I lived the 90s how you're supposed to. Or not, I guess. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this little different episode, more of a themed episode where I actually had a planned out kind of vision in my head for this one. Hope you guys like it. If you haven't followed me yet on any platforms, make sure you do that. That'd be dope. And I don't know what more to say. I hate asking for things. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I love the podcast. This is a lot of fun for me as we approach 100. But here's 97 with Dakota with Dak City Vintage. All right, we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Dakota with Dak City Vintage.
Yeah, Dak City VTG. That's what some people say, but my name's Dakota, but my friends all call me Dak, so it's kind of a basis around the name.
Yeah, we've been following each other for a little bit on Instagram.
Yeah,
I don't know how. Multiple mutual people or whatever. It's Kansas City. It's a small town. And then I had No Scope on a few weeks ago, and you happened to just show up with them.
Yep.
And it was really cool. I was like, I didn't know who you were until you got here. I was like, oh shit, that's Dak City, dope.
Yeah, that's me.
And so I wanted to get you in here because you do a lot of you sell vintage clothing.
Yeah, so I sell vintage clothing. I collect it mostly.
And it's more of a collecting thing?
Kinda. So I didn't really have that much when I first started. So most of the cool stuff I like to hang on to. But like stuff that doesn't fit me and everything, I'm obviously good with letting go of. But I don't know. I like to like curate like certain collections and stuff sometimes, and then but yeah, I resell it too. So
it's mainly 90s stuff. Is that or no?
Yeah, it's like 90s, probably like 20 years and older mostly. But like I don't know, it just depends on the item. Like if I see something cool from like 2003, that doesn't really matter. But like usual, like vintage is like 20 years or older, I would say. But I don't know. I have a range of a good amount of stuff. So
okay, I know we got talking a little bit about 90s stuff, and I did notice a lot of your attire and a lot of your Dak City stuff seems to be a lot of 90s.
Yeah. I'd say mostly 90s.
Okay.
You're right.
And it got me thinking, like I wanted to have you on here to talk a little bit about that. But since this is going to be like episode 97 or something like that, I want to do just like a 90s themed episode.
I'm with it.
I want to do something a little bit different. I don't normally do that, but I just figured I'd go in a different direction. And we could talk a little bit of 90s stuff, which would be interesting because I don't know how you got interested in 90s stuff because you were born in 95.
Yep, yeah, just said, 95. I'm
So how old are you?
25.
25.
Yeah.
Okay. I grew up in the 90s. Like 90s was,
different.
Prime years for me.
Yep.
Yeah, much different than your first 5 years. You don't.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, well, so here's like my mom and dad both graduated in 90, so they're pretty young parents. Like, so I don't know. They put me onto my dad mostly put me onto a lot of like cool stuff that he was like listening to, watching, and stuff like that. Like the kid friendly stuff, of course. But that's kind of how I got into it. Was just like kind of clinging on to the stuff my dad was watching.
Okay.
And messing with like just the music too. Like I'd hear the stuff he was listening to, and I was like, I like that. I want to listen to some more. So I'd take his CDs, listen, just overblow it. Like I just loved it, music in particular, but then like the sports stuff kind of went on to it too. So
yeah, the 90s was, God, it was a really awesome decade for music, for all
Man.
kinds of genres, whatever genre. It was just
Insane.
an exciting time of innovation, you know, people breaking off, trying new avenues of just distributing and marketing. You know, you had MTV and BET,
man,
music videos. Like, yeah, it was 90s was like huge, like probably the biggest part of the 90s culture was probably the music.
no doubt. I mean, the one in particular that like I listened to, I mean, obviously like I listen to hip hop a lot, but like the grunge era to me is just like insane because it was like people my age back then that were nothing, and then this whole like era happened, and then like it seems like a lot of those guys were like overnight, like kind of sensation, like Pearl Jam that came out with 10, and it was just like nuts for them afterwards.
Yeah, I think a lot of them, they were working hard for a long time, and then it just took something, because they were big on, like Pearl Jam was big on the West Coast, like, you know, Seattle area.
Yeah.
So I think they were doing really big there. Then, yeah, who knows? I don't know how they blew up. I'm sure it was some big music video. Like, that's what it was a lot of times.
Yeah.
That would get these bands noticed and big was if you had a really good video.
Because MTV was huge. Like,
MTV was
crazy.
giant. Like, you can't be a 90s person and not know everything about I mean, MTV was just like the hub. You come from home from school and you're watching whatever's on. I mean, depending on your age, but you're watching a lot of either like Saved by the Bell and maybe some Tailspin and DuckTales, or you're watching MTV if they're, you know, depending on what's on at that time. If it's, you know, a certain genre of music you're not into, but you know, then you had like Road Rules and
Real World.
Real World,
Oh, yeah.
Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah.
What was that one that had all the liquid television? You guys, I don't know.
I don't know.
Liquid Television was like a series on MTV that had like Eon Flux in it and a bunch of other like mini cartoons embedded. It was awesome.
Was Headbangers Ball, was that MTV?
Yeah,
Like,
that
they
was
had their own little
MTV. That
thing?
was at like late at night too.
Yeah.
Super late at night.
Yeah, that's kind of stuff. I look
Yeah.
back on some of that stuff. That's kind of funny. to me.
And then, oh shoot, what was the Ed Lover and Dr. Dre? Yo MTV Raps.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
So anyway, I made a little list here of some cool '90s things, and it'll be cool to kind of run by you or discuss.
Yeah.
But I was just like thinking some of my favorite '90s stuff would be pop culture types, not really pop culture, but like cartoons and toys, shows, movies.
Definitely. I mean, I made a list too.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
flow.
It's gonna be different because like you didn't grow up with some of these. I guess everything you can watch.
Yeah.
You can watch reruns and still be like, yeah, I was raised on this, that, or the other.
Yeah, so like I remember stuff from like 2000 to 2003. So a lot of that stuff I'm sure was like reruns, and so I mean I'm sure it was all aired in the 90s and just kind of cycled its way through to.
Yeah, I was a
people
big like
me.
toys. Like, you know, what was huge in the '90s was video game systems.
Oh yeah.
Because like in the
Right.
late '80s was Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Super Nintendo.
no, that was just Nintendo NES,
Oh, okay.
the original Nintendo, and then I think that was like late '90s, mid '90s, and then like early '90s was Super Nintendo,
Okay.
and then like video game systems in the '90s. That was a huge thing, at least amongst my age group, like growing up in the '90s. You know, I was born in '79.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm 11 years old
Mm-hmm.
in 1990. So, like, video games it was something else back then. The anticipation of a new system coming out. Like, kids don't anticipate that anymore. They don't care. Like,
Yeah.
at least, I mean, maybe I'm assuming, but going from an Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, you weren't like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what it's gonna be like. I can't wait to see what the graphic design will be and what the exclusive games will be. You don't have that anymore.
Yeah, it's like better, but it's not like exponentially better like it used to be. I think they were taking huge leaps every single. Every single system.
Well, that was what was so great about it was there was these huge leaps.
My first system was N64. If that gives you a little
GoldenEye, Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario
Star
Kart.
Wars.
I love the Spider-Man game. The Spider-Man game was nuts.
Yeah.
Because I didn't read the comics, so I didn't know about any of the villains. But that game had all the villains. It had like Octopus, Scorpion. What was the other one? I forget which one. But you had to like beat all these villains. Oh, Venom, obviously. And I don't know. That's how I figured out like Spider-Man. All the villains was through that video game instead of the comics.
Oh yeah, I'm not a huge comics guy.
Yeah,
N64. I didn't really get into N64. I was what was that? I think I was playing what was then? Genesis or was it PlayStation?
Yeah, PS1 came out like 98, I think. Could be wrong.
No, it was before that. I think it was even before that. I think PlayStation 1 was like 95, 96, maybe?
Because they had
probably 96, because Final Fantasy was 97. That was a huge game, but that took a while to come out. But yeah, PlayStation was huge. But like the biggest, in my opinion, of the 90s was as far as video game system is going from Nintendo NES to Super Nintendo. That was like a huge thing at that time. It was huge. It was unbelievable. I mean, it was like Black Friday when that shit came out. Like people were fighting each other at Kmart's. It was Kmart's back then, Blue Light Special, Kmart, shit like that. Yeah, but I don't know. We don't have to go through the video game stuff, but that was huge.
I played a good amount of Super Nintendo. I played Mario and did DK have a game? Just Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, that one was sick.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country was good.
They were so fun to like. I don't think I could beat them because I was like 7 or 8 when I was playing. I used to play it at like this daycare that I used to go to, that I used to like go to after school, and they had a Super Nintendo and nothing else. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna play this. And then DK was one of the few games that I liked that they had, and it was so hard to beat. I don't know why. Like those games.
That's the thing about even like just all the Nintendo, like Nintendo, any of those games, they look like they should be easy to beat because the graphics are kind of cartoony or they're 16-bit. Like they don't look great, so you don't think the games are gonna be hard.
Yeah.
But a lot of those games back then were way ahead of their times and were pretty difficult. I tell you, there was a game on NES that I think was way ahead of its time. You guys know the franchise Metal Gear. Metal Gear started way back in like, I was probably like late 80s. And that game was insane. It was the only thing that held it back was just graphics. But I mean, the story, the strategy, the gameplay, it was way ahead of its time.
Yeah, I've heard of Metal Gear. I've never played the game though. I have a shirt. Metal Gear shirt. But,
there's still Metal Gear games out today, that make new ones. They're awesome.
Yeah, I think it was like a mid 2000s game that they came out with, but I don't know. I just grabbed it because it was a cool graphic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How about cartoons? Did you grow up and watch a bunch of 90s cartoons at all? Did your dad get you into that?
Not. My dad didn't, but like just being a kid, just watching it, kind of you figure out what you like. I never really liked like Dragon Ball Z and stuff. Like that was huge when I was a kid. Dragon Ball Z was like the shit, and I never really liked that. I liked like Rocket Power a lot. Rocket Power was like my jam. Hey Arnold, like Nickelodeon was like the shit.
Yeah.
when we were when I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, like those years. I remember like All That was super dope with Keenan and Kel,
right?
And, Amanda Bynes. I'm trying to think, like Disney Channel was cool, like Boy Meets World. I like that.
Oh yeah, that's a popular
that one's
one. I forgot
cheesy.
about that show.
Yeah, but yeah, that's like stuff I was watching as a kid. But
Nickelodeon is another huge thing in the 90s. Like you just grew up watching Nickelodeon and MTV a lot. Like Nickelodeon had a lot of like the fun game shows. They had some fun kid shows, and of course the cartoons like the Rocko's Modern Life, Doug,
Doug was cool.
Rugrats.
Yep, Rugrats all day. What was the was Pinky and the Brain was in?
No, that was
that was like Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that was no, that was before that, like WB or something like that.
Yeah.
Tiny Toons.
Yeah, it's true.
Animaniacs. That was like that in that group.
I don't remember. I remember Pinky and the Brain. I don't remember the Animaniacs, but that stuff's huge. Like
I think
wise right now.
So I think Animaniacs, I believe, was like a half-hour long cartoon, but it would be like maybe like a 10-minute episode, like a short episode, and then there would be a Pinky and the Brain episode for like maybe 10 minutes, and then like another 10-minute Animaniacs. I think that's how it was. I think Pinky and the Brain was like sandwiched inside of a cartoon, like another cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like its own standalone show.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just thinking of like shirts that I have that I
Right.
have no idea. Didn't really watch it, but
I made a
still,
list
big.
of a bunch of cartoons here, and there's the ones that most people would know, and I named like the top. I have like a top 4 or 5. I have like a top 4 of I think the best '90s cartoons.
Okay.
They are not necessarily my favorite, but the top 4. Let's see if you guys agree with this. Beavis and Butthead.
No
This is
doubt.
no particular order, just Beavis and Butthead's up there.
Mike Judge, right?
Yep.
Goat.
And just it was one of those ones that was that style of comedy and cartoon. That was like one of the more earlier young adult cartoons. That wasn't like a cartoon, you know.
It's timeless too. It's huge now.
Yeah?
Like, people love Beavis and Butthead.
Do they still?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Another one. This was a Nickelodeon one. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead was MTV. Another good Nickelodeon one. What was kind of ahead of its time too, or not ahead of its time, but like that pioneer show is Ren and Stimpy. Did you ever watch that one?
Didn't, man.
Oh man, that was so good. That was another like one of those first early cartoons that was using kind of crude humor
Okay.
and like just not
I
geared
can see
towards.
it. I can see the it was like a little mouse guy, right? Or like a
It was
little
a Chihuahua and
rat dog or
what
whatever.
was that? What was Stimp? What was Stimpy? What the hell was he? Some kind of cat? I don't even know what Stimpy is. He's a fat, red, brownish. Anyways, that's funny. I don't even know. DuckTales?
DuckTales, don't know.
You don't know DuckTales?
Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Really? DuckTales is like, it's my number 1/2.
DuckTales. I can't even like picture it, what
Holy
it is.
cow. I got the wrong dude to talk the 90s on here, Charlie.
Dude, I'm sorry.
All right, how
Hopefully I know.
about the old school, like, there's many iterations of this one, but the original is, I think, phenomenal. Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did you ever watch that cartoon?
Yeah, TMNT. I mean, they kind of always come out with like their own stuff, so I'm sure my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is different from the one.
Well,
you
that's what I'm
remember,
saying,
you
like
know?
the early, like the original series.
I think so. I mean, I remember. I mean, I have pictures of me with like.
Those are my top 4. I'll throw them in the top 5 '90s cartoons. And the other one would be Batman. '90s Batman was so good. It
Yeah.
was so good. It had like that dark feeling to it. It was just, it was raw. The Joker was always good. Harley Quinn was always good. Like, it was just '90s Batman.
90s Batman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna add it to the checklist.
And then my side ones that I would add: Gummy Bears. The Adventures of Gummy Bears. That was on, I think that was Disney. And then this was another show that was like it was 2 shows put together like at the same time slot. It was Chippendale Rescue Rangers with Tailspin. You know those ones?
No, I'm out of the loop with the shows and the cartoons.
Yes, it is on Disney Plus. On Disney Plus, you can. I've been showing because I've been getting my kids. I'm raising them right.
Yeah.
I got them watching all the DuckTales. I bought all the DuckTales on DVD when my son was first born, like 6 years ago. He's been watching that shit forever. He loves it.
Okay.
And there's a new version of DuckTales on Disney, and it's actually really good.
DuckTales.
But yeah, Tailspin and Rescue Rangers is on Disney Plus. Gummy Bears is on Disney Plus. Yeah, DuckTales. Yeah, check those out.
DuckTales.
Man,
Can I look it up just to see?
Yeah.
What I'm missing out on?
life is like a hurricane in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur.
Was Full House 90s?
Yeah,
Shout out to Bob Saget. He was good, right?
it was alright. I don't know. That wasn't really my show. We didn't really get. It was.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I watched a little bit of it. I was more of a. Oh, what was that show? The Winslows. Family Matters. I like that better. Steve Urkel.
Steve Urkel.
Did I do that?
Yep. Oh my God. Fresh Prince. I
Of
like
course,
that.
of course.
I mean-
Loved me some Fresh Prince. Yeah, I've got them. Let's see. I listed. Let's see. I got 5 TV shows here. Saved by the Bell, of course.
Yeah. Kelly K.
Friends. You have to put Friends and Seinfeld on there. Those are just like. Those were like the biggest. They're huge.
Yeah.
Friends and Seinfeld, gigantic.
You want a hot take?
Yeah,
Friends is not that good.
it was for its time, I think.
People hate on Friends now, or people on my Twitter feed at least do.
It's it's easy to hate on. It's played out. I mean, it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's true.
But 20 years ago, it was really good. It was funny. Like
Yeah.
you had to, yeah, there was some suspension of disbelief. Obviously, these kids can't afford these giant, beautiful apartments in New York
Yeah.
where they're half struggling all the time with their jobs. So, yeah, if you just take away that aspect, I don't know. It was I don't know. I loved it.
I got you.
I'm biased, though.
My parents really liked it. They were watching. I remember seeing Friends on.
It cracked me
was
up.
Huge. Yeah.
Joey and I watched it mainly for Joey and Chandler.
Yeah, Joey was cool.
They were hilarious together.
His favorite foods, just sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. I mean, yeah, he's fun.
Yeah.
I'll turn it on. I'm not hating.
And I'm not necessarily saying Friends and Seinfeld were my favorite. I'm just saying as far as like 90s go, you have to put those on. They were just so huge.
You know what cartoon we missed?
No?
The Simpsons.
I thought about that. I thought it was more. I only left that out because that's 80s, 90s, 2000s to today.
It's
Like
true.
that's not. I
Late
don't
80s.
call that a 90s. I call it's like South Park. It's just.
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
it's not really a 90s show because it's still going.
Yeah.
It's still relevant.
Yeah. I got you.
I don't know, but I mean, who knows? Martin?
Yeah, I've seen Martin. They always do like reruns on MTV.
Do they?
Yeah, Martin.
I grew up on Martin, and then
He's the
of
man.
course Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. I like Jamie Foxx's show randomly too. Didn't he have a show? The Jamie Foxx show.
Yeah, I don't think it lasted for very long. There were a lot of those shows that were good, but only last like a season or two.
Yeah.
There was Eddie Griffin and Malcolm and Eddie. That was a good one, but only lasted like a season or two. And didn't that take place in like St. Louis or something?
I want to say he did because, Eddie Griffin's from.
He's from St. Louis, right?
No, he's from Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Maybe it took place in Kansas City. I wasn't
crazy. I
here
forget
living
he's
here
from
when that
Kansas
show was
I
on.
watched it like that. I just knew it didn't last that long.
Yeah. There was another show I really liked. I think it was called Rock. It was. Do you remember? It was he was a garbage man, family man. He was big, black dude with bald hair. I think his name was Rock. R-O-C. Does that sound familiar? You know that one, Charlie? You know that?
I don't know that one.
No, that was. It's an obscure one. It's not super. It wasn't super popular, I don't think, but I liked it.
I need to go back and watch I don't know if this is 90s like In Living Color, like with the Wayans.
That was
brothers
80.
and,
That started in the
Jim
80s.
Carrey.
But yeah, that was I loved In Living Color.
Is it a Homie Don't Play That? Like
Homie D
that's
Clown.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Homie D Clown was my favorite. Yeah.
Still funny to this day.
Is it? I haven't watched.
Yeah.
See, a lot of this stuff I haven't watched because I'm afraid it's dated. Because I have watched some things like so I started watching Saved by the Bell a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna watch a couple episodes just to see because I haven't watched it in 20 plus years.
Yeah, it's probably terrible.
It's so bad, but it's so like that's how all the shows were back then. They were so corny. Like a lot of the cartoons,
Yeah.
like a lot of ones that I didn't mention, but a lot of those cartoons had like the same style, same art style, same, graphic design, like same storylines. It just all had like a very similar feel.
Yeah, like that's how I feel with Boy Meets World. I'm sure like Boy Meets World is just Saved by the Bell just in the 90s and on Disney Channel or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, I'm the same way with you. As I was watching it, I was like, how did I like this shit? But I was still watching it.
Right.
So,
Yeah, there's some like, I think, let's see, I would say DuckTales holds, old school Ninja Turtles holds, Batman definitely holds. Those ones from the 90s would be cartoons that would still hold. TV shows, who knows? It's hard.
There's some. I think The Wire started in the 90s, but that's more like early 2000s.
Yeah, I think it was the
Y2K.
2000 ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, movies hold for sure. 90s was like some of the best movies that ever came out probably came out. That's why the 90s were so great. Like,
Yeah.
amazing shit just came from the 90s.
No doubt. Yeah.
Because the 80s were so bad. The music, the culture, the 80s was just awful. We had to get away. We had to make a change. We saw that it was just this loud, frequency, pitched, awful music of screaming guitars and synthesizers and keyboard guitars and dudes that looked like women that were teasing their hair and putting makeup on and spandex and just, awful. It was awful, just cocaine music, and it was bad. It was just
That's
a
hilarious.
poison, and I don't know. I don't know. Those the Warrant. I don't know. All that was just horrible music.
Motley Crue.
Crue. They were all right. They were tolerable. Guns N'
That's what I'd
Roses was
say.
tolerable. Like, you get a few exceptions, but for the most part, it was just horrible music.
Yeah, 80s is weird.
Yeah.
I like some music from the 80s, but like, I don't know. The fashion back then was terrible.
Oh, the fashion was awful. I try to go. I watch different old movies, or you go online and just look at like hot, quote unquote, hot chicks, or hot whatever from the 80s, like who were the hot starlets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to find a banger
From the 80s.
from the 80s.
Kelly Kapowski's pretty hot, dude.
Yeah, that was 90s.
Was that 90s?
Mhm.
Saved by the Bell? I thought Saved by the Bell was 80s.
Started in '89,
Okay.
but that season shouldn't really count.
Oh, all right. Yeah, bangers from the 80s.
There weren't like there's very few in like the hot ones they would be beautiful, like beautiful faces,
Mm-hmm.
but the bodies in the 80s, they weren't doing squats.
Very skinny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were just
Sade.
rails. They were just no ass. No one was doing squats and lifting. Nobody was using fake silicone quite yet. I mean, a few people were, but it wasn't.
Yeah. It's not what it is.
It wasn't
now.
Baywatch. Baywatch chicks again. See, like,
Was Baywatch in the 90s?
yeah, Baywatch was 90s. Pamela Anderson,
Pam Anderson.
the Hoff. Don't hassle the Hoff, man.
Was Carmen Electra in Baywatch at one time? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Ooh,
making
that sounds like she. I feel like maybe she was Carmen Electra. Probably. It may be like the later seasons. Maybe I don't know. I never really watched it.
Yeah, you just kind of see it.
Yeah, that was something you'd be flipping through the channels, and
Just-
you'd be like, oh, let me just see this one scene with this hot chick real
Yeah.
quick.
And David Hasselhoff.
Yeah. Movies. I got a list of movies here.
List them off.
All right.
I could name off.
I got Batman, like the Batman series.
Who's the Batman?
It started out with Michael Keaton,
Yep.
and then there was like George Clooney.
I fucks with George Clooney as Batman. Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Stud as Batman.
Let's see. How about Tremors?
Nah.
You ever seen Tremors? Oh my gosh. I should just give you this list.
Nah,
When I'm
just,
done, I'm
just spit them out.
Tremors was the giant underground worms in the desert.
Here, I'm looking.
Oh,
it
it's
up.
a classic.
I'm looking it up.
You know that one, Charlie?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't remember how the story is, but I know what you're talking
It's
about. I remember
so cheesy.
Kevin Bacon.
I remember
Yes.
the poster more than
Okay.
anything.
Kevin Bacon.
1990.
Yeah, it's
See, man, that's 1990. Like,
yeah. Let's see. The Professional.
yeah. Young
Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Friday, all the Fridays. Come on,
Come
like
on
that's
now.
my probably doesn't get any better than that. Jurassic Park,
Yep. JP.
Goodfellas,
Yep.
Classic.
Casino.
Classic. Kansas City is in that movie.
Yep, that's right. Yep. Matrix.
Don't get me started. That's like my favorite.
Right, me too.
Best-
It's
best
so good
trilogy
that
ever.
like
As of, well, they're making a new one.
yeah, they are making a new one, aren't they? I loved it so much, and I didn't realize why I liked it so much until recently, where I've actually really been diving into simulation theory, and it's basically the Matrix. You know what I mean? Like that's what the Matrix is basically all about, is a simulation theory, and man, love it. Fight Club.
Oh, yeah.
I
Definitely.
just watched that the other night.
Chuck Palahniuk.
Palahniuk, yeah.
Palahniuk.
You know the story about him? He
I
lost all
listened-
his money.
I listened to him on a lot of podcasts, but no, I haven't heard that. I love listening
He's,
to him talk. He's hilarious. He's like weird. He's like demented.
Yeah, I've got
Demented. Yeah, I was seeing that choke.
one of his books, two of his books. I guess Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Fight
2.
Club 2, the graphic novel there too. His some business manager or whatever financial
Oh yeah.
took all his
embezzled
money.
him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, all his money, all of it,
Yeah,
millions and
he was
millions and
talking about
millions.
that.
Dude stole some other artists and authors' money too. But so he's had to start from scratch,
That's
and there's because there's
he's
nothing.
talked about that.
Yeah,
I
the
forget.
government can't do, like, the dude is in prison, and I think he said he knows where the money's at, but isn't telling them, or people are speculating that it's buried in
It's probably in like
the ground.
Switzerland
And they
or
think it's
something.
buried in the ground somewhere or something.
Gosh, that sucks.
Yeah, but could you imagine being Chuck Palahniuk, having, writing those books, a lot,
Some of the greatest of our.
he's had a couple movies, Fight Club, amazing. Having all that money and success, and then having it just stolen from you, and you're still famous and everything,
Yeah.
but you're broke
have any
as hell.
money.
Like, what, you have to start all over.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Oh, what a
I wonder what his plan is. I'm sure.
he's writing.
Yeah.
He's right. I think he's got another.
Has to.
I think he's doing stuff. I mean, the thing about that is he's got a good resume. People are gonna want to work with him and
Oh yeah.
hire him, but still, I'm sure it sucks to have to like work for people instead of being independently wealthy like he was.
Man.
I see what else I got here. Office Space,
Yep. Office Space, good one.
Pulp Fiction. Come on now, come on, Quentin Tarantino
Reservoir
owned it.
Dogs.
Yeah. Tombstone.
Need to watch it.
You don't
think
know
I've heard it.
Tombstone?
I think I've heard of it.
Oh.
Who's in it?
Val Kilmer, Kurt Russell,
Okay.
the guy with the mustache, Elliot. What's his name? Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
That dude that's in Big Love. It's good. Dudes that I can't remember their name, but when you see them, you're like, oh, that dude's in it. Scream.
They're good.
Scream was good 90s movie. They were stupid and campy, but they were just good.
Yeah.
Good movies, just
Mhm.
scary movies. They were huge in the 90s. Forrest Gump,
Classic.
Ace Ventura, and Mask. Like,
Oh, The Mask is top 5 for me, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I love The Mask. Don't get me started. Like, I think it's the perfect movie. Like, it's like suspenseful, kind of a love story in a way.
right?
Funny. It's like everything just mixed into
Got the
it.
animal in it. It's got the
got
dog, Milo.
Crazy. Yeah. the underdog
Right.
comes out on top.
Yep.
Come on.
It's got it all. It does have it all.
It's nuts. Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz.
as,
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Not Cameron Diaz now, like back then. Yeah. Don't get me
Mm.
started.
Right. And then the Adam Sandler movies,
Oh, come on.
Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and all that stuff.
Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Big Daddy.
I like Little Nicky. I think Little Nicky was the last good movie that he did.
The last good. I hear what's it called? Uncut Gems is good.
I think he just acted in that though, right?
I
Well, did he
thought it
write?
Was, his.
Was it every?
Oh wait.
I don't know if that's like a. What does he call his productions? A Gilmore
Happy Madison.
Happy Madison. I don't
Longest
know.
Yard was dope. I don't know.
I haven't seen it. I do want to see that movie. I do want to see Uncut Gems.
Yeah, me too.
And then Any Given Sunday.
Keanu.
No, that was the
Or no,
Replacements.
that's
Jimmy Fox.
Al Pacino is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that was phenomenal. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I got for 90s stuff.
I'm good with movies. The shows I gotta
You
get.
definitely got to get on these
Maybe
shows.
just don't stick, like you said. I don't know.
No, but those
There's
top,
so many good
you
shows.
just need to check out just a few episodes of DuckTales
DuckTales.
and
Alright.
Batman, Rescue Rangers, and Tailspin. You know what? You don't even have to check out Rescue Rangers and Tailspin. Just DuckTales. DuckTales, you have to know DuckTales.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's like
Huh?
Tailspin.
Tailspin. Yeah,
It's basically the Jungle Book.
yeah. Tailspin's good, but it was only like 1 or 2 seasons.
I could have sworn that was like maybe 3.
I think it's maybe 2. It might only be 1. It wasn't that long. It was good. DuckTales. You got to get on DuckTales.
DuckTales. All right. It's at the top of the queue.
Yeah. What kind of list you got for me? I could have gone on music, but God, there was so much good music. I mean, not even to mention the golden era of rap beginning in the 90s.
Oh yeah, I mean, we could just go right into hip hop if
Right.
you want, or music. I mean, like,
Yeah, I didn't even come up with a list for that. There's just too many. There's too many good 90s. I mean, the whole East Coast, West Coast phenomena that was going on, that beef.
yeah,
You have Southern rap really
Southern
starting,
rap
and
is
it's,
some
you
of
know,
my favorite, man.
it's my favorite too.
Yeah, I mean, like UGK. That's like one of my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. 3-6 Mafia. I like them a lot. They started in the 90s and
Mhm.
shit. Some people. I don't know. Let's see. My list. I mean, you said you're from like Michigan, right? You Pistons fan? I like that.
No, I was a Bulls fan.
Oh, you're a Bulls fan.
I was a
Alright.
Bulls fan. I was a Michael Jordan fan, and then I watched. I can't tell you how many Bulls games I watched.
Yeah.
Like if you've seen, you know, when you see all the highlights or the pictures of Jordan, like when he did the switched hand layup thing. You know, he was doing a layup, but he brought it here and then came out here and with his
Yeah.
other arm, like that famous one. I remember watching that live. The dunk contests, watching that. Just the battles that he had. I loved the Bulls Pistons games.
Oh yeah.
Those were insane. They were rivals.
Yeah.
They would fight. I mean, they were like. I mean, I couldn't hate the Pistons living in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't good. You know, it's not good for your body. Kids will get mad at you.
Kick your ass.
Yeah,
Rough you up a little bit.
little bit. But since, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I put the bad boys because, like, I mean, I'm a huge like sports guy, so obviously I like those 30 for 30s and those
Mhm.
or those documentaries do a pretty good job of like showing what it was actually like, like on the floor and like in real life and
yeah.
stuff. And
Pull that mic a little bit closer to you.
oh, sorry, man. And then but yeah, Bulls were just like iconic.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's
MJ.
no 90s basketball. Boy, yeah, that's like I said, folks. It's just an all 90s episode. 90s basketball was a lot of fun. It was big. There were players like bigger than life players. It wasn't just Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah.
I mean, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. I know a lot of these were like 80s, but they crossed into the 90s too.
Yep.
Hardaway,
Penny.
Shaq, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Clyde Drexler,
Muggsy. I like Muggsy.
Muggsy
lot.
Bogues,
Larry Johnson. the
Karl
OG.
Malone.
Yeah, Stockton. I used to have a
Yeah,
Stockton jersey.
Stockton
and
and,
jerseys.
Chris Mullins,
Chris Mullen with the
buzz cut.
yeah, with the buzz. That man was insanely good.
The Dream Team.
My God, I don't know if I might. Christian Leitner, don't sleep on him.
Sleep on him in the NBA. Don't sleep on
He
him
was
in
on
the
that team
college.
somehow.
I went to a preseason game in Rapid City, South Dakota, with Christian Leitner against Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, it was those teams. It was Orlando and the Timberwolves, Minnesota Timberwolves,
Okay.
and
Nice.
it was their rookie year.
Ooh. So
And they were just
Hardaway
doing-
Was he the point guard yet?
I couldn't tell you. I don't think so. This would have been like 90, I don't know, 93, 94, whenever Shaq entered, Shaq and Leitner.
Yeah.
They both entered the same year. But it was cool going. I saw their rookie year, got to see them live. And then another badass rookie that I got to watch live, David Robinson.
Ooh, the Admiral.
The Admiral, that's
Yeah,
right.
stud. He was
One
like,
of the greatest of all time, I think.
Yeah, he was kind of a boring. I
Yeah.
feel like he was a boring player.
Super boring.
Kind of like Tim Duncan. I
Yeah.
never liked Tim Duncan growing up. I was
Yeah.
like, this guy is just so boring, but he's so good. That's why I don't like the Spurs. I'm just like, they're just such a boring team, but they get it done like in a exponential way. Like,
That boring culture works. Look at
Yeah, right?
It's like that Patriots culture.
Yeah,
You can't be flashy. You can't be bigger than the team if you want to have a winning culture.
it's true. It's over now. Get that shit out of here.
Who, the Patriots? You
yeah.
think so?
I think it's done.
You think it's done because Brady's gone.
Yep.
But there's talks right now that they might get that Tua kid.
If they get Tua, it's done.
You think so?
I don't think you could. Those are big shoes to fill. One, you can't.
You don't have to
can't-
fill them. You just have to. You just
I
have to win
think
because that's that's that culture. They love Brady, but the culture of Boston and the New England Patriots is the New England Patriots. Like it sucks, but they're not gonna. I don't know.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna sign someone. I think in the off season, well, coming up this.
So they're gonna do
in
it
the
quick.
offseason.
They're all
Yeah, I
not
mean,
many
they're
options
not
left.
gonna have training camp, so I don't know if they're gonna make a move. But I mean, Cam's still out there. There's still a couple quarterbacks that can slide in. I don't know. I don't think you draft a rookie quarterback though and have him fill the GOAT shoes. I mean, Tom Brady's the GOAT in my opinion.
It's the
I
trend.
think.
It's the trend. Oh, there's no question. He is definitely the GOAT. There's no question about it. But yeah, I don't know.
I like him more now that he's not on the Patriots.
There is some. It is kind of there is like a feel in the air of people kind of liking Tom Brady now. Like he's smiling more, laughing more. Maybe he's gonna be a little bit more loose. I think people are rooting for him. They kind of I think it's fun that he went to Tampa Bay of all places.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're gonna be as good as people think they're gonna be just because Brady's gonna be there. But
They'll be a playoff team.
I think so too. I think they'll get a wild card because I think Saints are still pretty solid. They got to play the Saints twice, and the Falcons aren't really shit anymore. But I don't know. Saints are always pretty solid. Just depends
Yeah,
on how Breeze does. But
I mean, all I have to do is split it though.
it's true. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
They
it's
got a
gonna be
good
interesting.
offense.
It'll
He's
be
got
interesting.
two really good receivers. I would not want to play them twice.
And a good, Tampa Bay's good. He's got two good receivers and a good tight end.
Yeah, he kind of underperformed OJ Howard, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he got injured. I think he was injured for a little bit.
Yeah, he's a crazy athlete, but just never really correlates on the
Right.
field. But but what were you talking about?
Who knows? Sports,
Yeah.
music.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, also sports. So I'm from KC. Love
Born and
Kansas-
raised here.
Born and raised KC.
Okay.
I've lived on Kansas side, Missouri side. Don't really get that whole Kansas-Missouri rivalry thing though. But
Yeah.
what was I saying? But yeah, 90s Chiefs. I mean, they didn't really win shit to me, but like as a Kansas Cityan, that's just like something I cling to. Like
Okay.
I'd love like Marty Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Him and his like dope puffy jackets on the side with the coolest hats on in the old pictures, and so like I like shit like that too. DT,
Derek Thomas. Yeah.
Derek Thomas, R.I.P.
R.I.P..
He's a legend. I'm trying to think of what else, but yeah, I mean NFL is like my like go-to sport. I grew up playing baseball, but
Yeah. I hope we have NFL, man. This whole Corona shit. I don't know. I'm hoping they can at least maybe play with no audience.
it's gonna be so weird.
I think it'd be cooler. I think it'd be kind of cooler without the crowd. I don't know about cooler. I think it could be very interesting I think it would be more. It would be more like how football is for the rest of America when we're just playing in our backyard, across the street with our
Yeah.
friends. Like there's no crowd there. It's just you can hear everything. You know, don't you want to hear them talking
Mm.
trash so much easier? I don't know. I just think it
No.
would be interesting. No?
Well,
It's
just
more-
Being,
I
no, I get it. Being a Kansas City Chiefs fan and like Arrowhead and how big of a difference I think it makes. I mean,
No, it makes a huge difference.
yeah, just those crazy fans every Sunday yelling.
No,
and
it's
not giving a
well,
shit
it's a
about.
huge part of the. It's a huge part of the NFL.
Yeah, but no, it's gonna be. I think it. Yeah,
But I don't
You're
think
right.
it's a huge part of football. I think they're two different things.
yeah.
And I think from a football purity kind of just coolness factor, I really like the idea of them just playing one on one without more than just their team there
Yeah,
and some camera people.
yeah. I mean, that would.
I think it'd be
I think
cool.
you could do it. Yeah,
It'd
no
be
doubt.
weird. Would it be
UFC,
weird?
UFC did it. It was weird as shit.
I didn't get to see that yet.
WWE did it.
I didn't see it.
Twice.
I saw some pictures of it.
They did 2 nights in a row of WrestleMania.
I know. I've read about it.
Oh,
I saw some
all right,
pictures, but
yeah.
I didn't watch it.
It
Was it
was
weird?
awkward.
That's weird. Yeah, the wrestling would be weird, but I
Yeah.
think sports in general would be cool.
I think so too. I think basketball. I mean, I think basketball because that's one of the louder sports with all like the bouncing and everyone talking shit, like you said. I
Yeah,
think basketball would be kind of neat.
they would all be great. I think.
Yeah, you're right. Baseball, I mean, it'd just be like a regular baseball game because no one goes.
Oh, you know what they tried in the '90s? I was a big hockey fan, huge Red Wings fan. They owned the '90s.
Yeah,
Like
shout out.
Hockey Town,
Yep.
Steve Eiserman.
Hell yeah. I
But
can't-
they tried in the '90s to get more people watching hockey. Was they did this thing, and it only lasted for maybe a couple seasons, if that. But they had like this bright blue thing for the puck,
Mhm.
so you could follow the puck easier. It was like this
Yeah.
big bright blue, like a video game type thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't last. I think a lot of
Didn't work.
Puritans
Hockey Puritans.
hated it.
Yeah.
But I'm a hockey Puritan. I thought it was a really great idea. I thought it was cool. It makes people, because a lot of people, if you aren't used to watching hockey, you don't know where the puck is a lot of times. So that helped.
On TV, yeah, no doubt. I mean,
And
I
that was
use
back
it.
then before you didn't have 1080p.
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah.
have 720. There's no HD. You had a tube TV that was grainy as all hell.
Well, I think still, I mean, I don't know if you share the same just kind of outlook on it, but hockey's like one of the only sports where it's like I feel like it's definitively better in person, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like football,
yeah.
I love going to the games, but still, I'm not
Oh, it's
gonna
better
I'm
on
not gonna
TV.
lie and just say it's better at the game. I think it's a lot better on TV. Baseball, I mean, whatever.
Baseball, you need to be there.
Yeah, and basketball too. I think it's way better on TV.
Yeah.
But hockey on TV's hard to watch. But at the game, I'm like,
It's kind of hard to watch. I guess if you're not used
Not
to
hard to
watching
watch,
it. No,
hard
I
to
know
keep
what you
up
mean.
with.
Yeah. HD really helps.
true. Yeah.
Like that was a game changer. Watching hockey in HD is a beautiful thing.
I wish Kansas City had a freaking hockey, like a real hockey team, like even like a
Oh yeah, I mean yeah.
a feeder team or whatever.
Good
it's
night,
called.
Mike.
Ah, sorry, dude.
It's all good.
My
man.
bad.
So you can move it up higher if you need. Like it or move wherever.
Right there.
Oh yeah, that sounds
All right,
sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, the Mavericks are all right.
Yeah, but they're like they're not like affiliated with a real
No, it's something to do.
Yeah.
I'll go to some games.
like the Blades. I mean, that like fed into like Sharks and a couple other teams.
Yeah, they were an IHL team. They were a
Yeah.
farm team.
Yeah,
They had some NHL
I'd take that.
players. I'd love to. Yeah, they were talking about doing that. I think. Yeah, I think just heard somebody talk. They were talking about maybe doing an IHL team here.
In the Hunt family, probably a part of it. I
Who
think.
knows?
That'd be big. I would love that because like you actually see players that are probably going to be in the NHL. I would assume.
Or you get old ones that
Yeah.
didn't quite make it. They need to come back,
I got
get
you.
another season or two or a month or two even, and then go back up or get called up.
Yeah, that's one thing. In NBA or NHL, and Kansas City needs.
I don't think. Yeah, an NHL team, I think could work. I think it'd be tough, but I think it could work.
It was close. Almost got the Penguins
Yep.
like a year before they won the Stanley
Yeah.
Cup.
Oh, that would have
How
been
sick would that be?
huge.
The first year they come to KC, they win.
Yeah, I don't think that basketball. I don't think the NBA would work in Kansas City.
Why?
Here's why. Because say they're a shitty. They'll be a shitty team probably because they're a small market.
No doubt.
The Royals. They're a shitty team, right? Imagine an NBA team in Kansas City being a shitty Royals-like basketball team when you have KU 45 minutes right over there. People love KU basketball in Kansas City. They love it.
I think that proves that proves your point.
No, it doesn't. It
What?
does. It does prove my point because
That proves my point.
our NBA team is so shitty. Fuck them. I'm not spending my money and time watching them. I'm watching the Jayhawks.
Yeah.
It goes around the same time. I'm investing my time and money. I'm just gonna, screw these Royals. I love my. You can't take me away from my Jayhawk basketball.
That's true.
And I think let's face it, a lot of the basketball fans in Kansas City are KU basketball fans.
That's true.
So that's my argument. I think they would just abandon the NBA team for, just like, why? I don't need to have the NBA when I've got my badass college team here. Yeah, when LeBron comes, it'll fill up.
Yeah.
When the Lakers come to town, it'll fill up. Sure, every now and then it'll be a big attraction with people coming in.
Yeah. Well,
And maybe that would be enough to save it.
Here's my thing.
Maybe.
Basketball was invented in Lawrence.
Right.
The game was invented in the area.
Right.
I think it doesn't need to be college basketball. People just love basketball in general here. And I think if we get the Kings back, the Kings were already here, so there's some history with it. So people will be like, oh, I love the Kings when I was growing up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They'll still go and stuff like that. But I don't know. Sprint Center only has 19,000, I think. So to sell it out, you need 19,000 people. It's not a lot. The Royals, when they suck, they'll even when they suck, they're at their lowest, they'll still get 25, 30,000 on a Friday and a Saturday.
No way.
Yeah, I think
No
so.
way.
On the right night, on
No
early
way.
when it starts getting nice.
Maybe early in the year on Buck Night Friday. Maybe 20, 30,000. That's almost sold out, isn't it? How big's Kaufman? Kaufman's
35, 40.
Yeah, when the Royals suck in July, August.
Like May when it starts getting real nice and everyone
Sure,
wants to get out.
when it's spring fever.
Yeah.
For the first few, maybe month or two, I guess. Maybe.
So
but not when I don't know.
But with basketball, they're gonna suck obviously. But I think it's easier to get better in basketball too than MLB because MLB is
but I'm not comparing the two. I'm just using that as an analogy of if they're shitty.
I got you. Well, yeah, that's true.
I just think. See, if you have a shitty hockey team, it's the only game in town.
So would the NBA though, right?
No, because they've got college basketball. They've got their Jayhawks.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
they can't go.
It's in KC though. It's not in Lawrence.
It's 45 minutes away, but they're gonna be watching it on TV.
Yeah, I got you.
If you're invested and you want hockey, Kansas City hockey, it's the only game in town. There's no badass college hockey team that people are obsessed with in this town.
Yeah, you're right. Well, my dream is to have the stud of the studs go to KU for a year. And then we have the number 1 draft pick, and then he comes to KC, and he's just KC kid.
That's a lot. A lot has to happen.
Sick.
Yeah, a lot of odds have to fall in your favor for that.
I'm not even a KU fan. I don't know. I just like hoops. I like college hoops. I like NBA. I like anything here. I don't know. I feel like Kansas City needs something more than NBA or MLB and NFL.
Yeah, it would be
Growing
nice.
enough.
It would be nice. I don't know. I think maybe we just need to be a little bit bigger. Kansas City's growing. Maybe in a few years, if it depending on who knows what I don't know what nobody knows what this coronavirus is going to do to the economy.
Yeah.
Our economy's really been exploding in Kansas City. All over the country, but Kansas City especially, a lot of businesses have been coming here.
Small businesses too are big here.
Small businesses, big businesses are coming here, bringing thousands and thousands of jobs. It's just. You see downtown, they're building skyscrapers all the time down there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, maybe let's hope in 10 years that's the thing. In 10 years, do we want it to be twice its size? We're 1 million people now. Do we want to be 2 million so we can have basketball and hockey, or do we want to keep our small town?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I love the small town of Kansas. Kansas City's
I
a
do
small
like it.
town.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small town. Big city, you know what I mean? It's a city with small town mentality. I don't know. Hopefully it stays like that, even if, you know, as it continues to grow, more outsiders come in, they continue to adopt
Yeah.
our culture and our ways. And I say our. I wasn't born and raised here, but I've been here long enough. I call it home. I'm a Kansas Cityan.
Yeah, you're Midwestern. I mean, it's one and the same, I feel like.
Yeah, there you go.
know? But still, I mean, I'm sure you've lived in Kansas City. How long you live in KC?
Yeah, I'd say half my life I've been here.
Yeah, I mean, you call it home.
Oh, yeah, it's home. Oh, yeah.
Definitely. It's not a bad place to call home. I love Kansas City, man.
I tell people all the time how amazing it is. Get their asses out here.
People don't believe you until they actually get here and get a Z-Man and fries stuffed in their face.
Ooh. I haven't had a Z-Man and fries. Are they open today?
Sunday. R.I.P.
I know, but you're right.
You can go, I don't know, is there any spots here where we're at?
Arthur Bryant's isn't, well, that's like,
20
not
years.
here. Sometimes there's a trailer
Yeah.
parked outside on Nolan Road. That's pretty good.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So okay, let's get back to Dak City real quick, and then we can get you out of here.
Yeah, no biggie.
How did you get in? Yeah. So your dad just kind of got you in that, and you just fell along with like that fashion. Like, how do you get into collecting vintage clothing?
So, yeah, like I said, I kind of adapted my music, sports, everything. My taste kind of is centered around the stuff that I got from both my parents. So, and I kind of have like this weird memory. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I'm like I like know where people like go to college, like athletes. Like I'll be like, oh, that guy went to Ohio State.
Right
that
on.
guy went to Cali. So like I just like know weird stuff like that. And it's kind of the same with music and movies and just stuff like that. I don't know. I'm weird. So it's kind of beside the fact. But then I graduated college 2 years ago. I lived
Where'd you go?
UMKC.
Nice.
Yeah,
Ruse.
Yeah. Shout out UMKC. So, and then I was working one of my first full-time jobs out, and I wasn't really making too much money. So I was like, I'm not an entrepreneur by any means, but I like making money. I like making a little side cash. So I don't know. I kind of I just went into a thrift store to see what they had, and I found a couple things and ended up flipping them a couple times, and it just kind of spiraled and just became a thing for me. And I kind of made my Instagram page just kind of like a curation of all the stuff that I like and just stuff that I want other people to kind of see and stuff like that. So yeah, basically my page is just centered around just sports, music, pop culture, anything, just things that I grew up on, things that kind of are influential now, so.
Yeah, and a lot of times on your stories, you'll post like just a picture of like a vintage T-shirt and just say it's for sale.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't really have like a real business model. I don't have a website. It's more of just like a side hustle, just because
Right.
I like it, But I mean, I'm hustling. Don't get
respect
me wrong.
that,
Don't get
yeah.
me wrong, man. I'm like I'm in the thrifts. I'm just buying collections from people sometimes, and I don't know. I just love it.
Now, because I've looked at some and I'm like, how do I actually buy something from you? You had a Blades shirt on there one time. I was like, ooh, that'd be dope.
A Blades shirt.
Or a Blades sweatshirt or something like the one you had wearing. I think it was a gray one or something.
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just like put stuff on that like I get for me personally, and I gotta like hurt some feelings and be like, oh, this isn't for sale, blah blah blah. But sometimes I'll do like story sales where I'll put like 20 items or whatever on, and then people will just DM me and then Venmo me, and then I'll just either send it out to them or deliver it and stuff like that. I should probably just consolidate it into a website. It's just like don't really have the bandwidth for that right now. I'm like,
Right.
It's definitely on the checklist for me. But I kind of want to like grow my following a little bit more before I do that, just so I can make sure that all my stuff does get sold, because you got to kind of pay to play with websites. Mostly, I mean, you got
Yeah, I got a website.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like crazy, but you still got to make sure you're making your money. So, and what I'm doing right now is just kind of a good medium for my full-time job, and then just kind of my outside life. So, Yeah, and that's pretty much it. But
So a lot of it is just like thrift store shopping, finding like good stuff that's in good shape, and then
yeah, wash it up if it needs a little care, a little TLC.
Okay.
I'll
and you just put it out there. Yo, look at this dope. Because I wonder, because a lot of your stuff is like, dang, that looks. And how is that a 95 sweatshirt, but it looks in that good a condition?
Yeah, so I've ran into people that have had just collections of stuff, kind of like me in the 90s, that just collected tour shirts or collected a bunch of sports stuff but never wore it for whatever reason.
They're just collecting it but not wearing it.
You know, like they'll get it and then never wear it. It'll just like get lost in their closet or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really a secret. Like estate sales are a lot of like older people's wardrobes that they're just getting rid of because they either need money or they lost a loved one or something like that, and so they're just selling their stuff at this estate sale, and you'll get stuff still with the tags on it from the 90s.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's nothing better than new vintage
90s
stuff because you see how good the quality is, and you're like, dude, people were buying this for $20. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know, I'm just weird like that. I'm a nerd. I was saying, like,
yeah, it's dope.
I look at stuff like that, like the tags, the stitching and stuff like that, you know. So.
What was, I don't know, a couple memorable finds that you were like, score! I cannot believe I just dude. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, I had. I'll show you the video of it. I'll pull it up as I'm kind of telling this. It's a story, so it's gonna be. I'll tell you the story. This guy was on Facebook giving and he said it was the marketplace or whatever, and he had a bunch of shirts for sale. And he put it up. He only put up one shirt, but it was a tour shirt, and tour shirts are pretty big for reselling. Like
makes sense.
They'll sell for nuts. And it was a Jethro Tull and a Rush shirt. Not really huge on both of those shirts. But I messaged him and I was like, and because he had a bunch of like black T-shirts and white T-shirts on the back, like that you couldn't see what the shirts were. But I was like, this guy's clearly got a good collection or whatever. So he's got like his little warehouse thing or whatever, and I was like, hey, I'm at work right now, but can I come over after work? He's like, yeah, I got some people coming by tomorrow morning, but I'll open it up for you and let you take a look. And I'm like, okay, blah blah blah. So after work, went through. It was pretty dark, and he didn't have lights, so I just kind of took my flashlight around, and I found like a gold mine of just dope shirts, like Jimi Hendrix, Tyson versus Holyfield, Rod Stewart,
Dang.
Elton John. I'm trying to think of like the bangers that I found. An Andy Warhol shirt, like art shirts are huge right now.
All in good condition.
Dead stock condition,
Wow.
like not dead stock, but like brand new condition. Like I found I bought so much shit from this guy. He just started giving me stuff.
Yeah.
He gave me 2 life like a 6-foot poster of Bo Jackson with a glass of milk and a Royals
I know
jersey.
that one. I know that
The
one.
4 food groups
Yep,
one.
I know that
I'll
one.
send you a picture of it. But
Oh, cool. I want that.
hey, I got you.
I am
You
a
can
huge.
put it in the background.
I would
or something.
totally trust me. I would definitely put it. I am a huge Bo Jackson fan.
We didn't even talk about him.
I
Yeah,
love
he's an
those.
icon.
Yeah, my favorite. I want to get the framed picture of shoulder pads.
Yeah, the black and blue.
Mm-hmm.
So sick.
Oh,
God, he was
man.
that's on like my grail list. Is I don't even care if they're new or old, but his cross trainers, his Broken Bats Nike cross trainers.
Yeah.
The shoes, I need those. I've never got them. They re-released them and I still couldn't get them, but yeah, but that's beside whatever.
Bo knows Neanderthal. I'd put him right over there. That'd be dope.
That'd be big. Get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
He's a big hunter.
He's a big bow hunter. Yeah.
Yeah.
He like, man, yeah. Yep.
He's the man.
He's crazy with that. Yeah.
God. Yeah, but no, so I ended up getting, he gave me a box full of shit, and I was just like, I had the box full of stuff and knew how much it was worth. Like, I knew how much I could resell it for. And then he was like, all right, well, you got a big box there. I'll do it for about $140. And like, I had about, I'd say over like $500 worth of stuff in the box.
Cool.
Like, but I hope he doesn't see this. Ended up keeping. I
What does
kept
he
in touch
care?
with him.
You
I kept in touch
hustled
with him.
and sold it. He got what he wanted out of it. It doesn't matter
doubt.
what you do with it.
Yeah. So ended up giving him 140. Found more shit. Gave him more money. So I gave him like 200 that day. I actually told a couple people that do what I do. Kind of like I was like, yo, this guy has this basement full of shit. Go check it out. I didn't wipe them out, but I bought enough for me.
But I'm good.
Yeah, but I'm all good, blah, blah, blah. So I had a couple people go there, and then I went back the next day for a buddy, and he was like, and that's when I got the free shit, because he was like, I had a couple people tell me that you sent me here, blah, blah, blah. He's an older cat, and he was a cool guy. But ended up meeting his brother, who had just a stack of jerseys, too, in his garage.
Oh, wow.
So I went over there, looked at all his garage. He had, like, old school MLB. He had just shit I've never seen before. A Nike Lakers baseball jersey, like some Michael Jordan stuff, a George Brett jersey, and ended up getting some stuff from him too. So it was just like a chain reaction.
Wow.
But that's my craziest score. I've told everyone, but I don't know. It was crazy. It just a whole bunch of dots connected and ended up having a pretty good score. I kind of stashed everything though. I haven't really. I sold one shirt, but that's it.
Stashing it for yourself for a later date to sell at a higher price, or
I kind of gotta. I haven't really been able to find a lot of the shirts. Like, I know they're 90s shirts, but I haven't seen like how much they're actually worth. So I'm just kind of letting it sit until I kind of put a price on it. But
put your own price on it.
That is true. I mean, it's nothing over.
Won't the market kind of I mean, if you like, the market should dictate if
That
you're
is
selling
true.
it too high or too low.
That
I mean,
is
they're probably not a huge. It's probably hard to find like what people are willing, because you don't know what people are willing to pay for a really nice, awesome, in shape, damn near new 90s shirt that they want. Like,
That's true. And they're all like brand new. Like,
yeah,
tags and everything.
like the Holyfield one, I bet would be awesome.
The Holyfield one's. You want to know a crazy story? Is he said it was signed by the referee. What's his name? He was the referee for the Tyson Holyfield ear fight.
Oh, okay. Mills Lane or something?
Mills Lane, yeah. And I looked up his signature, and it was the same that was on my shirt.
Huh.
I was like,
too bad it's
and
not
he knew it.
authenticated.
oh, I know. I don't think, but I mean, I'll tell myself it's real. But he's like, yeah, I got that signed by Mills Lane. I was like, why are you giving this to me? He's like, I don't have any use for it. I'm like,
Oh,
all right.
cool.
And he's the referee in Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, I'm sure you obviously knew that.
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, shout out to that guy.
Dope.
Yeah.
So do you have some things, I mean, you mentioned the Bo Jackson shoes, but are there some things on your list that you're just, oh my gosh, you're always looking for? Like, is there like a dream list, a dream find? Do you have something like a white whale that you're just like, oh, I want to find this so bad?
Yeah, always.
Like some brand new
Chiefs hats I'm weird with.
Okay.
The old school shark tooth hats.
Okay.
I love those. Anytime I can get them for a decent price, I always scoop them up. But they sell for like 60. It's not a lot, but it's like $60 brand new. I just don't want to spend that.
It's a lot of money for a hat.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna wear it too. And that's the reason it's so expensive, because
The shark tooth. What's the shark tooth one? Is it like the Zubaz, almost kind of looking like the?
Here, I'll show you a picture real quick. I really like old school Wu-Tang stuff. Love old school rap stuff. There's these like bootleg tees that weren't big back then. They were like parking lot tees, people call them, and now they're getting sold for like $500.
Dang.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Wu wear. Remember
Wu wear?
Wu
Yeah, yeah. Here, let me show you this real quick.
Boy, 90s fashion was it's cool now to look at some of it, and you can.
So that's like the
Oh,
shark.
yep, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah, so those
God,
are
those
all.
are the ugliest hats ever made.
Oh, they're so sick. What are you
They're
talking
so
about?
ugly. They're
Those are so awesome.
ugly.
But yeah, I like those. I'm trying to think. There's these shirts called mosquito head shirts. I don't know. They're just like basically all over print shirts. They're hard to explain. So like they have like a. I'm trying to think of a cool one. Like the Jimi Hendrix one, super cool. They have like a Homie Don't Play That one, which is super sick because it just has like the face of the clown.
All over.
Yeah, or like it's just a big picture of his face.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's I really like those. Those are like $600 shirts though. I like the stuff that are like hot right now. It's like stuff that like Travis Scott wears and just.
Oh,
other
trends? Other vintage clothing trends?
Oh yeah, right now it's kind of crazy. Like those band shirts. not the ones that like I necessarily have, but do you know the band like the Butthole Surfers?
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily like the biggest band ever, but Travis Scott, I guess, is like a fashion icon now.
Okay.
And he wore a Butthole Surfer shirt, and he wears like 9 Inch Nails shirts and stuff, and people just throw them online for like $300-$400 just because
He's wearing
just
it.
because he wore it.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I actually like Butthole Surfers, so I wouldn't mind getting one of those. So.
Yeah, they had a couple. They had a couple good songs.
Yeah, Pepper ones.
They
the
had.
biggest.
Yeah, I like that song. They had an interesting sound.
Yeah, weird, kind of punk, but not really. I
Yeah,
don't
and their
know how to-
singer had a cool voice.
Yeah. Let's see. Bad Brains is one of my favorite bands, a punk band from the 80s. I really like Bad Brains, and I can't find any vintage shit from them anywhere. Like Dead Kennedys, I like those.
A lot of
those
punk
shirts.
stuff, huh?
Yeah, I kind of like punk and just like kind of gritty hip hop stuff too. So anything like that apparel wise is what I'm looking for. So that's on my grail list. I'm trying to think of like sports stuff like off the top of my head.
I had that bull shirt that you're wearing right now.
No shit.
Oh yeah, I got it for my birthday.
This thing is awesome. Like
I remember when it first came out. I saw it in the store. I was like, "Oh, I want that so bad." I was like, "Mom, will you?" You know, she's like, "No." She was like $50 at the 50. I think it was about $50 at the time.
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm not spending $50 on a shirt for you." I was like, "Well, how about for my birthday?" So when I
That's
got
good.
when I got my birthday, I got that shirt.
Yeah, that's what I used to do with my parents. Is just be like, I just want one article of clothing that I can't. What's the word I'm looking for? Afford. Sorry, I
Right.
had a little brain fart.
Sure.
But every Christmas, I would ask them for like a $50 shirt.
Shoes were my big thing. I always wanted like a dope pair of whatever the hottest shoes were. Usually Jordans.
Yeah,
I had the Robinsons when they first came out. I had the pumps when they first came out.
yeah.
I'll tell you, now that was pre-90s, but whatever. When the Reebok pump first came out, maybe it was in the, I think it was
think
late
it was
80s. Golly, it's right on the edge.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter for the story. I was in elementary school, and getting those, you basically, if you bought a pair of the Reebok pumps when they first came out, you were basically a rock star
You're the coolest one.
for at least a week or two
Nice.
at school. You would have kids run up to you, get on their knees, and start pumping the ball for you. It's like, dude, can I pump your pumps?
No way.
Uh-huh. You're like, hell yeah.
Legit.
So you just stand there like a king with these servants coming bowing to you, massaging your feet as they're pumping it.
Oh, that's
and
sick.
then they'd release it. And
Who was it? D Brown, I think, did his. It was a basketball player.
Yeah,
He did his
I know.
dunk.
He did the dunk, the
no-look
no-look.
dunk.
He pumped his pump.
Yeah.
He pumped the Reebok before
That's
he did
nuts.
the dunk. Yep.
Yeah, I had those socks, stance socks. Like used to do those socks where they'll have like Allen Iverson socks or whatever. They had a D Brown socks or whatever. So
Really?
I just copped those. Yeah,
Oh, that'd be cool.
yeah, it was kind of cool. But
Forgot about D Brown.
yeah,
The
I think
no-look
D. Brown,
dunk.
Yeah,
Supersonics?
I think he was Celtics.
Yep.
Green.
Yep.
Yep. What was that? Oh no, satin starter jackets. Those are like top of the list for me too.
Starter.
Sorry, going back. Yeah, anything
Starter was
jackets,
huge.
yeah.
I loved starter hats. Starter hats. I had every time. If I had a hat, like I wore hats every day
Yeah.
in the 90s. It was always usually a Bulls hat.
Uh-huh.
It's always a starter Bulls hat.
Yep. Starters like kind of having like not a resurgence, but they're still just like coming back with their old shit, which
had
is
a-
kind of cool.
Yeah, I
but-
had a badass starter T-shirt that just had the big, the logo on it.
Oh, yeah.
But I shrunk it.
Ah,
Shrunk it a couple months ago, and I can't wear
man,
it.
I've shrunk so many shirts that I'm just so mad that I don't have anymore.
Yeah. So how does that work when you're a vintage collector of these clothes? You want to be really careful with them. Are you like extra precautious with washing them? Do you have a washing style or secret? Like, how do you go about that? Hand wash them in the sink and then air dry them?
If
what I would do.
if let's see, like if it's a really bad stain, I'll I don't know. I usually put some of my stuff in as just regular stuff just to get it cleaned. But if it's got like a bad stain, I'll try to like OxyClean it first, just isolated, and then put it in with some whites or something if it's a white T-shirt, and just kind of assess it from there. I don't really necessarily have like a cleaning process for it, but I definitely try to wash everything that I get, just because unless it's still got the tags on it, But
yeah, do you have when you're wearing all of this stuff, you basically wear it every day, like 90s stuff every day, like vintage?
No,
oh, okay.
I mean, I still kind of keep up with, not like fashion trends, but I still kind of like newer stuff and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Still
that makes sense.
Mix them up a little bit, but
sure.
Yeah.
So when you are wearing the vintage stuff, is there a certain level of anxiety that comes with you while you're wearing it? Like, man, I probably shouldn't be eating spaghetti while I'm wearing this, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I got to be super careful.
I'm a messy eater, and I try to be so precautious. It just happens sometimes.
Or even just like going to the club, I hope somebody doesn't spill a drink on me. Like, do you have all kinds of like little extra worries? Like, man, I don't want my vintage style. Like, I can't go to Walmart or wherever. I can't go to whatever and get another shirt.
With white T-shirts, I'm so precautious, so that's kind of why I wear a lot of black T-shirts, just because like easier to get the stain out if it is stained.
Right.
So you don't really see me with too many white T-shirts unless like I know if I'm doing any activities, it's gonna be clean.
If I were to buy, I'm just thinking if I were to buy me a few vintage things that I really wanted to wear, I can't imagine how. I'd be very selective on when and where I wear.
The jackets and the sweaters are the one that get me, because like
a sweater,
the sleeves are kind of like baggy sometimes, and they'll like get in like ranch or something. Like, you won't even notice until it's like already hard, and you're like, shit, I can't even spot clean this now. So, but
have to dry clean.
But I don't know. There's some shirts that kind of look better a little bit dirty sometimes. I don't know how to explain it. Like the more like faded shirts, I would say.
Okay. But that would make sense.
Yeah, but I don't know. Some stains are impossible to get out, and you just kind of got to throw in the towel and just say, like, I want to tie-dye this or something.
Yeah.
I've had to tie-dye a couple T-shirts just because it's an impossible stain to get out. I don't even know how old some of the stains are. But
when life gives you lemons, make a tie-dye T-shirt.
Facts. I was going to say fuck the lemons.
Ouch.
No, I'm just kidding.
That might hurt.
Oh, no, not like that.
Oh, okay. That's where my mind goes sometimes. Dakota.
Oh, my bad. I was going to say, you watching this Jordan documentary tonight?
Yes.
ESPN? There we go.
I don't have ESPN. I don't have cable.
I don't either.
How are you going to watch it?
I'm going to stream it or something.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I have Disney Plus. That comes with ESPN.
I think you got it. Might need me.
It comes with ESPN Plus or something like that.
Weather Channel, Discovery Channel.
Yeah, this ESPN, which is great, it has UFCs on there, and you can watch like the latest pay-per-view they put on there just a couple weeks afterwards.
Classic ones too.
Everything, yeah. I don't know how far back it goes. I don't know how far back it goes.
Nice. I'm bummed that they canceled that UFC. I needed something to watch.
Yeah,
it's probably good that they didn't though.
Yeah. Yeah, Dakota, man, this was fun.
Yeah.
I appreciate you doing this. How can people I'll give you this time here to kind of pimp your product, pimp your stuff, say whatever you'd like. Dak City VTG.
Yeah, definitely.
On Instagram.
Dak City DAK CITY VTG on Instagram. That's basically where I sell most of my stuff. I do have an eBay, but don't really post all that much on there. Website on the way. And that's about it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
This was cool, man. Can I
Yeah.
have a fist bump?
There we go, brother.
Appreciate you, bro. This was great. I'm probably, now that I know, I just have to DM you if I want to buy one of your things. It's as easy as that.
Hey, you get first dibs on everything. So
hell yeah, you heard that, everybody. I'm gonna
Yep.
get at that. What do I want? I'm gonna have to think
Facts.
about what I want. I would like a Blades, some kind of a Blades shirt. That would be cool. A tour shirt would be cool. A Starter Bulls hat would be. Yeah. Is there a place where people can go to see a whole list of stuff that's currently for sale, or is it, or do you just have I'm selling this. You hope you have to catch my story in this 24 hours to catch this.
Hey, exclusivity. Yeah, so I have an available like highlight on my page, and it has probably like 10 to 15 things that are still for sale, and I'm gonna be adding to it as I go on.
Oh,
I've been moving,
sweet.
so I've been kind of moving my inventory and getting everything set up at the new crib. But yeah, I'm gonna be unloading a lot of stuff in about a week. I would say I'm gonna have it all set up. So.
All right, I'm gonna start looking.
Got to get those pictures right, man.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you, man. This was fun.
I appreciate you, man. Thank
All
you
90s.
so much.
All
Yes,
90s
sir.
all the time. Charlie Hustle. I don't know why I called you Charlie Hustle. Charlie,
Charlie Hustle.
thank you,
Shout out
sir.
Charlie Hustle. Pete Rose.
Appreciate you. Everybody, we're out of here. Bye.